I just realized I've been muted this whole time. Go me. But, yeah, so saying is I do apologize about the momentary delay in actually starting. I'm doing a very atypical stream for myself. Normally, I'm streaming on YouTube and Twitch at the same time, so I'm dealing with some oddities because I had to start this directly on YouTube side. And so I'm just quickly putting out the things. Alright. Okay. One will be good to go. Not on Twitch tonight. The only reason I'm not on Twitch tonight is just because it's gonna be like a little 2-hour stream or something like that. And if I go live on Twitch before I have the chance to like build up my numbers and all that, it'll penalize my numbers and it'll break everyone's stream streak. So I'm just doing kind of a quick casual one, but this will have the VOD so people can see the finish of the game. But it should only be about 2 hours because that's how long I have left till that finishes. So it's good to see you, X-Ray. So bear with me, I'm just putting a going live thing up. Using that Rual, but odd stream tonight before TwitchCon. Alright. Cool. Okay. Yeah, so I'm not gonna be on Twitch tonight. And that has to just do with like it's only gonna be... You're still checking out Phase 4? Yeah. Yeah, you know what I got going on is I'm right about to wrap up Phase 5. I'm making about, I think it's 1.25 of these things a minute. And once I get those done, we get to see the game done thing. People haven't missed too much on the actual factory building side. I should actually probably do my intros if it was a normal video. So we're picking up back on Satisfactory, for those who missed what we've got going on. Last night's video, we got right up to the end, but there was a number of hours of kind of waiting for things to get done. And it was just kind of one of those things that I could have kept going, but it was just really, I could have, you know, I could get a lot more. And I'm at the point where I'm just kind of accepting a lot of these patterns. So you haven't missed much. I did let the game run basically all day today to try and get things done. I didn't realize, because these things were only going at about one... Like, it was something like a little under 1 a minute. I was literally looking at 10 plus hours last night or something to finish that out, hadn't I cleaned things up. I want to put these in here to double it, but the power consumption is absolutely astronomical. I think it's like 20,000 megawatts or some nonsense to get that all up and running. So there's all that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to finish this out before we go to TwitchCon, because literally I fly out in, it's about, let's see, I need to wake up to fly out in about 7 hours. There's no way I'm getting to sleep right now, which is why I'm not bothering. But what I'm currently working on right now is the only way I can increase the output of that to speed this timer up is I need more power. And I was just starting to do that when, you know, I was getting ready to go live anyway, and one of my viewers on Twitch was like, you know, go online, please, or something like that. And I was like, fine. What am I short on? Oh, I'm missing cables? It doesn't... Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, no, I have 196. I was misreading it. But yeah, so what I want to do is I did do a lot of shuffling around while everything was running, of turning off machines that I didn't need anymore, and moving the Somers loops or whatever around, and that kind of thing. I did do a decent amount of that. And with that, I have improved the output of a lot of things. And I need cables, that's over here. And so all that going on. But yeah, so that's what we got going on. Let's see here. Cables should be up here on the other side. No, up one more floor. But yeah, so I'm trying to get the next 2 nuclear reactors on. Something, ooh. Exactly. Good to see you, Sentient Cookie. For the record, I'm expecting a very low turnout. Because 1, I said there was probably not going to be a stream tonight. 2, it's on YouTube instead of Twitch, and Twitch is, like, if we had the full night stream, I'd fully expect this to get up to 130, 150, or more viewers, depending on raids and whatnot, on Twitch side. On YouTube, genuinely, I would say we're doing pretty well if I get to, like, mid-20s to 30. I would say that'd be a pretty good sign if I have that many concurrent viewers. I would guess it's going to be lower than that, maybe 10, 15. Very understandably, people are going to be on whatever platform they prefer. And people who tune into Twitch all the time, probably not watching YouTube live streams very often. That said, one thing that impressed... Wow, that was terrible. One thing that did impress me was that throw. One thing that did impress me was YouTube has announced a bunch of, like, stuff to help with discoverability and all that, that I kind of, like, being a Twitch content creator, was looking at and being really jealous of. So for those who didn't see, like, YouTube announced that they're going to... I'm going to need 4 of these. Yes, I'm going to need 4 of these. But YouTube announced that they were going to add in... Sorry, I'm like trying to figure out how I can position these. Because I need 1 more on this side. So you're just going down there. I can plunk 1 more over here, maybe? Come on. There we go. But YouTube, when it announced, was they... Oh no, I'd actually probably need 1 more than that. They announced that they're going to have a whole setup where, like, viewers can go in, and I don't know exactly how it works, like if there's, like, money involved or a point system or how that, like, I didn't get all the details. But there's going to be an entire system that they're going to have where viewers can be like, hey, I really like this content, I want to hype this, and they can hype... You're turned around the wrong way. And they can hype the channel, and it does stuff to boost it in the algorithm, all that kind of nonsense. But what's impressive about it is that they actually restricted that functionality to only channels under a certain size. So very, very genuinely, it is a feature that is strictly for smaller creators to get spotted. And smaller is relative here. It's something like 500,000 views or something like that. Which, you hear smaller and you go, 500,000 smaller? I mean, in the scope of YouTube and stuff, 500,000 is relatively small, because that's cumulative views as opposed to, when we're talking Twitch, we're usually talking concurrent views, because that's the metric we care about. So it's a little bit of a different animal. Alright, so the catch is, I need this water pipe to go in here. Alright. I'm going to adjust this a little bit. So I need this to do... That'll work. So we need to happen here. I hate it. Never mind, that won't work. What I'm trying to do here is I want the pipe to go across both these where I can put a T to just plug it in like that. Because then I shouldn't have to worry too much about pumps or anything like that. But yeah, so the idea being that they've got this thing for discoverability that's only available if you're a quote-unquote smaller creator or whatever. And that's going to be really good. It's fine. It'll be at the right height. It'll be cursed lineup, but that's the thing. But, you know, that's kind of a cool thing. Like, you could have an equivalent for Twitch and be saying, hey, channels that have below, you know, however many followers or however many average concurrent viewers, you can... I mean, the concurrent viewers probably get rid of... The thing is trying to figure out ways to not let it be gamed. But, oh, it's too close. Can I pick it up high enough? No. Alright, I'm gonna have to make more foundation. So what I'm trying to do is make it so I don't need a bunch of pumps to make this work, which is why it's getting so finicky. But yeah, the idea that, like, you can boost small channels in that way is pretty awesome. Because that's one thing that Twitch doesn't really have in any meaningful capacity right now. Oh, I see what your issue is. Can I get you to play nice? It's looking like a no. So the issue is it's getting too bunched up on that. But my hope here is... that might... No, that's going to have an angle that won't work. You know what we could do? I can make my life easier. I can just move the whole reactors back a tile. But yeah, so that's a cool feature. They're also doing some stuff about allowing you to manage your communities entirely on YouTube. So, having a better way you can, like, you know, let people know your schedules, all that kind of stuff. And it's like, those are features that I've genuinely wanted on Twitch for a very long time. And just, for, like, apparently once upon a time they had it, but for whatever reason they got rid of it. Just like people didn't use it or whatever, which is a bummer if that is the case. Alright, so what I needed to do is go over here. I'll need a pump on that side, I already know that. Okay, so cool. So I've got that water hookup, that water hookup. I'm going to need a T over here. Right around here. But yeah, so it's just like, it's just been some really nice features that I couldn't help but feel a little bit jealous as a Twitch streamer that, well, a content creator primarily on Twitch, I guess I should say, that I couldn't help but feel a little bit jealous about that kind of functionality existing, just because the situation we have on Twitch doesn't really lend itself to helping. Okay, so what I want here is I want another one of those, and then this pipe's going to go in the middle. And if you're wondering why I'm doing this such a weird design, the idea is simple. 2 of those running full slugs should be enough to barely handle that, but in practice it turns on and off. So I've got 2 on this side to handle that, 2 on this side to handle that, and this one just kind of pad out that number just a little bit, because padding out that number just a little bit will keep them from flicking on and off constantly. The downside is I might actually have to go slug hunting to deal with that. Because I don't know what happened. I had like 118 slugs, and I think my 100 stack got deleted. Like, I don't know if I accidentally trashed it myself or it's in some box somewhere. I didn't actually think to do this. I keep hitting the wrong buttons. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so, the first part is, I've got the water hooked up. Now, before I touch any of that, let's get slugs into all these things that we can. Well, actually, let's apparently dunk ourselves underneath this platform. Let me out. Stop pulling that out so I can actually get somewhere. I was gonna say, first, let's get power here so I can move around and be less a hassle. Because I already know I'm gonna need power running this whole area. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, upgrade you, 4. Need a second one, so we'll just drop it there. 5, 6, 7. Okay, so they all have power. But now that I can actually fly around here without immediately falling out of the sky, all of these need slugs, maxed out. I'm going to be a little short on those. That's not a problem. Finding more slugs is an issue. And for the record, this is also kind of busy work. We've got just a little bit over an hour before, literally, if I do nothing, I win anyways. Or rather, I finish anyways. Yeah, let's see if I can't find a couple of slugs, because I need enough slugs for 3 there and 6 there, so I need 9 slugs worth total. That actually is not that much. What are you? Oh. Apparently you're an achievement. That's been sitting right next to me this whole time. There you are. So that's 2 out of the 9 I need. Three. Oh, I have not been watching my health. Okay. Okay. But yeah, so we're gonna work on trying to get all this going. For everyone on the on YouTube, like how is the stream? Is it comparable to Twitch, like in regards to quality and all that, or like is there a noticeable difference? I know there'll be a bigger stream lag between like when I do thing and when you see it. That's just the nature of YouTube. Like I've got it set to low latency, but there's really nothing I can do about it. Hey, friendo. I thought you were a slug for a moment. I was wrong. There's this lag between mobile and the desktop? Gotcha. That's surprising to hear. I mean, I'm assuming there's less lag between the phone and the desktop compared to Twitch is what I'm assuming is meant by that statement. If I misunderstood, correct me. Because usually the phone is always laggy as all get out on Twitch. Like, you can get a good connection, but most of the time it's... If I'm dealing with, like, a second and a half or whatever lag on desktop, the phone will be, like, 15, 20, 30 seconds. Need to switch my jetpack. Yeah, Twitch can be 20, 30 seconds off. Yeah, and that's pretty normal. And it makes sense. Phones, you always have a higher latency. That's just the nature of phones. Because they gotta do a lot more shenanigans to pass signal around. Alright, so that should be 5 shards worth. Alright, I see number 6. I have unlocked the artificial shards as well. I haven't made any. But I do have the recipe. Just a whole big thing to check. Grab you while you're here. And the only dialogue people missed when it came to, probably up. The only dialogue you missed is I did grab one of the somber sloops or whatever they're called. Somer sloops. And the two were kind of like, yo, would you like to, you know, get away from your temple and all that, which we have established biological life is the temple. Why can I not land on this? Like, I'm slowly dying to radiation because this ground is a lie. There's the slug. See, like, this is very, very flat terrain. Alright. Guessing there's more up. Definitely something close. Alright. So if we go here, this is as high as I can get. We got you could use biofuel. Oh, that is way too much radiation. Alright, hang on. Okay, let's try that again. Be fast, be fast, be fast. Ooh. That's literally the spiciest radiation we've had so far. I've definitely climbed into some pretty awful stuff. But that's the first time that I'm like, I don't know which bar is faster. The one that has me gaining life or losing it. Or the one that has me picking up the item or losing it. But we got it. Okay, so it's not up there. Oh, it's down here. Okay, no more slugs nearby. Hey, buddy. Mind your business. Alright. You can use a somber sloop in a constructor to get down double the power shards. Yeah, that's right. I remember people mentioning that the other day. I'm just gonna grab these. Like I said, I have the recipe that lets me make them artificially. It's not actually that bad of a recipe either. It's just, as I mentioned before, we're literally about 1 hour from done. Like, if I did literally nothing, and we just stared at the screen for a full hour, in 1 hour I'd have to just pull the lever that opened, like, to send it up to the elevator. Okay, so that's plenty. That's, yeah, that's like almost 15. Okay, so what we could do is we could run down there. I'm gonna craft those. We could go check on the MAM because I got, like, I went on an expedition to grab hard drives and all that. I can't remember what was actually after, Oh, I think got stuck waiting on materials. So I was like, okay, whatever, and I grabbed enough stuff for 2 radio towers and just went off in a direction on the map and plunked down a radio tower. And just went with that. Because I am glad I didn't try and push through in the evening. I didn't notice it till after a little while went by. I had missed the fact that I was only getting about 1 of those an hour, but I was having to split it between 2 of those resources above me. And so it would have literally been, had I just tried to like push through it, an extra like 10 plus hours or something like that. And I've done stuff to help with that, like when my batteries are full, I've been putting a Somersloop inside the particle accelerator to boost it. It takes like 20,000 megawatts though, so I can do about 5 or 6 cycles like that, and I gotta pull it back out before it takes out my entire power grid. I have gone and changed a bunch of stuff there, so let's swap you. But yeah, it's been a lot. But just walking to parts of the map, because if I pull up the map now, so these are the 2 new ones, over here and here. So you can see just going down that direction. These are all hard drives that I didn't have what I needed on there. So I needed motors at one place, crystal oscillators, and heat sinks. I don't remember what the second... Oh yeah, this is just a guesstimate of where I wanted. Because what I did is you'll notice I've sorted this differently. I just tried to put it so the marker was far enough away to be worthwhile. In reality, I'd probably snug it up a little bit more. I'd rather they overlap than have gaps. But the goal being then, now I should be able to go and say, hey, please show the resources on the map. And just be able to see all of it. But it got so noisy, I started hiding a bunch of the stuff. Alright, but anyways. How are you doing? Hard drive's done. We keep getting that one. I don't care about this. That's something I might actually use if I go to do more in the save. Because I've debated what I'm doing after the save is done, like after we've won. And I do think I'll play more off-stream. And there's been a couple things I've actually heavily debated. I've debated going off-stream, tearing down most of the factory little by little, and now that I have like absolutely everything unlocked, just making like not the perfect factory, because there's no such thing, but making the factory, you know, so I could scale and do all sorts of ridiculous nonsense and whatnot, and see what I can make happen with this. Oh, I've lost the tab that gives me all the stats. Here we go. I was gonna keep an eye for like things that could potentially have a problem. But yeah, like I was thinking, so it's kind of a shame that the dimensional storage is such late game tech, because I could see as a normal strategy when you start this game to make what I would refer to as a mall, which is a concept from Factorio. That those unfamiliar with the mall concept in Factorio, the idea is you usually have an early, mid, and late game mall, but it's a place that you just feed in like 2 or 3 lanes of materials into, and it makes every single building you might want, and so you can just grab your resources and plunk down the building. Because Factorio works a little bit different in how you construct your buildings. I would actually make the building in a thing and then deploy it, kind of thing, depending on the building that is. The stuff like sentry guns I would have to build in advance versus some other stuff I just need the materials. Alright, so we've got all that hooked up. You need a power slug still. And you were good. Okay, we're going to start with the power slugs turned off in those ones, and then we're going to add them in afterwards. So, the 2 lanes I need, I've got my first lane, which I can do fairly safely. You might be going, what is with the weird conveyor belts? I did unlock the better conveyor belts. It is an incredible waste for me to be using these conveyor belts for this. But hear me out, I don't really care. Okay, that's your output. I mean, if I have to switch, I have to switch. That's fine. Okay, so this is our waste route. I'll probably have to switch. Because since I started using a lot more diamonds for other parts of the process, I've run into issues. I need to see where I'm going. Right. That's not a problem. So we can go here, we can squish in a merger right in that line. Alright. So our waste is sorted. And I still have plenty of these. Because genuinely, these belts, like, the materials they're using is absolutely astronomically expensive. But they really don't use much of them. So small blessings there. Alright, that'll be a splitter, not a merger. And I already did the check on, like, the math. I should be making enough. I'm making, I believe... That's fine. I'm just gonna... just do this. Do those things to fix later. Alright. So, in theory, we should see these pop online. There we go. I'm gonna give it a moment for those fuel cells to pile up. Good to see it. And so with that, everything should be in order. Crank it up. And with that, I'm hoping I can pop down here. I can drop the summer soup in there. And it's still going to spike past what I'm producing so far as power right now. But my hope is it'll be enough that between the batteries just going back and forth, because I think tripled my battery banks, that'll be enough that I can run that until we hit victory. At this phase in the game, I don't think there's anything I could do past that to improve our output. Like, ultimately, yes, I could build, you know, another particle accelerator with all the extra stuff, but we're talking I've got like 1 hour left to wrap. You know, give or take a little bit. So, plunk you in and watch it scream. So right now it's been using about 5,000 megawatts. When that cycle flips, we'll see the new power usage. 20,000 megawatts. A nice casual paltry 20,000. So, where we did jump our power production up to 33,000, from where we were at about 20,000, you can see this is how much our power consumption spiked. And the good news is it's got an average, that's the max, and it ramps up to that, then drops, and ramps up, then drops. So my hope is, with our 2 new nuclear reactors, I am kind of expecting to go up and down. I am noticing that something's wrong with the water. I've got a spike down there, but honestly, I can just live with that. Ooh, are you gonna actually stay below? Yeah, no, you stay right below. Yeah, and there's the drop-off, till it ramps up again. And the good news is, that just cut our time in half. So we're now making 2.5 per minute. So 2.5 per minute, we're looking at about 25-ish minutes, and then we're done. So I happen to have 2 hard drives and one's currently decoding. So about the same time we finish decoding the hard drives, we should be good. Yep, we should literally be good. What do we got in our inventory? I need to deal with inventory woes. Sort, drop off the snacks. Put a stack of you in here, and you, and you. Okay, that's full. You're full. Just trying to clean out inventory. Okay, so I have 15 Mercer spheres. I think both my other unlocks under the alien tech, I've got 2 left. I think both of them are like 30 or so. 23, they're both 23. I have the second ingredient. But yeah, because there is an achievement for unlocking everything. I can actually track down these ones while we wait. So I need the AI whatever they are, the AI limiters, and some Caterium wiring. So we can go ahead and track that around while we wait. Unlock everything there. So Caterium, I'm making the ingots down below. I think the wire was up a little higher. Got it in one. Right. We're using an obnoxious amount of that, aren't we? Which is to make our AI limiters. That's fine. I can make this work. See, that's the thing. Those things are all being produced. A lot of our factory already is shutting stuff down. There we go. They've got you. Where are those AI limiters stacking up? Oh, good. Our supercomputers are almost going to stop producing because their box is filling up. That's part of the thing, is I shut down some of the end products that we just don't need, the ones that you fill into the elevator. And since I turned that off, you know, more and more stuff is just backing up and getting done. And at first I was all excited because I was like, oh sweet, what this is going to mean is I'm going to have like way better power situation. I was wrong, to be clear. What ended up actually happening was a bunch of the cheap and expensive processes that were making stuff like copper sheets and garbage like that, those shut down, and instead, you know, stuff like my particle accelerators now had more materials to work with and were running more constantly. So that sucked. Okay, heat fused. Interesting. I'm still gonna re-roll it. I've been kind of re-rolling a lot just to get more options. I'm not too worried about one or the other, though. And what were you needing? Oh, you also needed the... Yes, I need 50 of those and 25 of those. And you can worry about those in a minute, but we'll go ahead and keep the next hard drive going. As long as it's researching, it's not wasting time. How is our power grid going? I haven't been watching it. We're not even using our batteries. Which, for the record, when I said I expanded the battery banks, so that's our new battery bank. It's got 20-something batteries in there. I think we went from like 15 to 20-something. The only reason I didn't go higher is it was just taking so long to charge them up that it was just like, okay, I can charge these, but if I spend the whole time charging these up and not using them, have they really helped? And so I felt like that was kind of the nice sweet spot in the middle where I was using a bunch of them. Hey, I'll take your limiters and that, because I don't really need the supercomputers. I'll take a second stack, because I know I'm going to use a bunch of both of these in a minute. There we go. Alright. But yeah, so one of the things I'm envisioning and why I was saying with the dimensional storage, I wish we had that earlier, is it would be nice to be able to, like, probably not right at the beginning of the game, but relatively early game. It would be really nice to be able to go, like, you know, iron, like the iron, the constructor where it puts out your iron plates, have it go into, like, a box, and then put a splitter before the box that is, you know, to the dimensional storage. Because then, once you've done that, you never need to go back to base for iron plates ever, because it will slowly feed into your dimensional storage at all times. It'd be very costly on the Mercer spheres, but I think that's totally fair. And it would give you a bit more reason to go exploring early game, because you get your new mythic material and be like, oh man, I don't want to have to lug that around. Let me go ahead and go hunt for some Mercer spheres. How early can I actually get that? How early would that have been? So you need one Mercer sphere. I mean, okay, so you'd need the SAM. So you'd have to be at least a steel. It looks... Well, actually, wait. I think that goes out of the manufacturing building. Which would be pretty decently into mid-game. Yeah, I believe it's this building that, gets it. Oh yeah, I was gonna check the actual, process, which is down a floor? Oh no, maybe it's not. Maybe I'm misremembering. Okay, so we can get... That's the ingots. No. It must be down another floor. Yeah, so it's those. Yeah, it is a manufacturer. Yeah, so the manufacturer, when was that in the tiers? Let's go check that. Because I'm basically wondering in my head, at what point of the game, if you were to trying to prioritize at absolute highest priority, when would you get it? So it's not here, it's not part assembly, that's your assemblers. It's not there. It's not till tier 6. Yeah. I personally, in my mind, I feel like that should be earlier. Like, I feel like tier 3, 4, that range, I would like to see that there more. Not the manufacturer, but being able to build the, Dimensional Depot. But yeah, because the Dimensional Depot, it's interesting that's literally just that SAM technology is the only thing that keeps you from being able to do it. But that requires a manufacturer, and that makes it automatically all the way up there. That's kind of a bummer. I do wish that was earlier. Because like I said, I would definitely see if I were playing again, like from scratch, which I'm almost certainly going to do. Probably, like for myself, I probably won't do it on stream. But if we're going to play it again from scratch, I'd almost certainly want to try and get those set up as early as possible. You can handcraft the SAM thing? Okay. I didn't think about that. Yeah, so steel would be your blocker. I think steel's 4, which would line up perfectly with what I was saying. I forget, it's been so long. Yeah, basic steel production. Yeah, so actually tier 3. Okay, I withdraw all comments. Yeah, no, that's fine. Because you'd be able to set up a drill on the SAM, get it back to base, and yeah, you'd have to handcraft it. But I mean, it would be one of those things that, like I said, you could set up your... Like, it didn't make space for it, so it's not going to work here. So, like, I've got my... This is not a good example, I need to go up a floor. You know, I've got my storage container here as a buffer. I could see putting a splitter, like, right here, and having the dimensional storage there, and anytime I use it, it'll just pull it right off the line and feed it into my thing so I can keep building. You can get the dimensional stuff unlocked really, really early if you find the alt recipe for steel pipes from Just Iron Ingots. Oh. Yeah, that's going to be RNG, but yeah. No, but like I said, I like the idea. Because then, you know, I'm going to get it, it'll be at tier 3, so at that point I can make what? I can make iron plates, I can make wire, I can make cable, I can make rods, I can make screws, I can make reinforced plates, rotors. Am I missing one? Because you can't, like, this is before steel we're talking. Before steel, think that's all of the building materials for actually building stuff. So not counting ingots or all that crap. You don't build stuff out of that. Well, and the drills. The manual drills. Sure. So you'd be talking only 8 things. So if we think about this, going here, so you burned 1, you burned a second, and then you'd need a total of like 10. And you would now have a reason to get more of them. Every single time you go and say, oh, well, now I have iron pipes and iron bars, or sorry, steel pipe and steel bars, then you'd immediately want to run out, grab 2 more Mercer spheres to make your dimensional storages to do all that. And that way you can, like, literally just fly around the base and just, like, stamp it out. So, like, that's really powerful. Because, like, where I'm at now, I could set those things up, but I haven't bothered. And the reason I haven't bothered setting those up is because I have to, like, every one of these connections out here, because they're put too tightly, I'm going to have to readjust. And, like, don't get me wrong, I might be able to, like, squeeze a splitter off here. Like, I could probably wedge random splitters and put the dimensional storage off random splitters and make it work. But that's us being super endgame and being in the I don't care anymore mode versus, you know, when I set this up initially, like, you can tell, like, this is when I got to I don't care mode. When we set this up initially, it was incredibly gorgeous. I actually left myself tons of room here for future expansion because I figured I was going to have, like, 1 lane here and another lane there, another lane there, you know, nonsense like that. So I gave myself lots of space over here. This didn't become cursed until I needed to split it in 3 different directions, and then everything kind of went sideways. But yeah, that's cool. Alright, so that's cool. So that's definitely something that would separate someone who's been playing the game for a long time from someone new to the game. A person new to the game wouldn't know you can do that, and so would be very unlikely to unlock and do that stuff until around the same time I did. Because very genuinely, while you can get to it earlier, and you see it in the MAM earlier, like, other than just going out of your way and saying, hey, let me unlock the stuff here, if you choose to prioritize that, you're not likely to, did something break? That hasn't gone up in a minute. Are you good up here? What's going on? You're out of cubes? No. You're still turned on, right? Fuse modular frames. We could fix this short term by just running over here and jamming these in. There we go. We've jammed them in. That'll give me 50 more. Do it. Do it all. My entire production line came to a halt. Because it's one of those things like, it should only be 20 minutes. I'm like, man, I don't think that's gone up in the last 5-10 minutes. Because I was making the comment, we would finish these around the same time. Like, that's not right. Okay. Cloudy diamonds. Alright, that's probably a good recipe.
Priority power switch unlocked. This assists with power grid management by automatically powering down specified connections when a grid failure is imminent. Use it to prioritize power for the most important infrastructure.
Yeah, we haven't needed that because I always kept my power good.
Power switch unlocked. Fixit is proud to announce that the power switch facilitates power grid management through the application of the very latest advances in on-off switch technology. Fixit. It's fun to have power.
Alright. Yep, and I'm not going to worry about unlocking the rest of that right now. Okay, so, with all that said, we need to figure out what's going on with those cores. Why are those not being made? Because that's a real big problem. I'm just surprised. It's like everything's been running smoothly. I haven't had to like babysit any of it for this whole time. And then suddenly it's like these aren't being produced. Aluminum casings. I think I have aluminum casings on me. There. You're taken care of for a minute. And you're in slightly better position for a minute. Alright, so let's drop back here. See why our aluminum casings aren't happening. There's no aluminum ingots. So the silica is definitely not at fault. It's full. You didn't bring back any ingots. Okay, so something's gone catastrophically wrong. Not only did it not bring back ingots, like in a meaningful number, it literally didn't bring them back. So something has broken in our aluminum production that is literally offline. Oh, you know what I bet happened? I bet you we ran into that problem where the silica backlogged and can't get through. Which the fix to that is I just chucked down an awesome shop and dumped silica into it. But, that's a whole thing. The good news is I did have a lot of those modular frames just already made in other stuff. So I think we're still good. Like, we got set back about 10 minutes from when, that machine got... Like, I just didn't notice it wasn't running. Yeah, so all the silica is solid on this belt. It's solid the whole way. It cannot physically take it out of here. That's the input. What part of my process was outputting silica? You don't output silica. You output silica. Where is your silica output line? There it is. No, that's not the problem. If that was a problem, I'd go there. Okay, let's check. So, we have no shortage of alumina solution. You're idle. Why are you idle? What? Okay. We should have... So you've got what you need to run. Like that's... Water output full? Ah! Right, water output full. Okay, we can make this work. So let's go here to logistics, valve, plunk you down. That should unstick it, because then these should cycle on and off, and these pipes should gradually drain into that. And then these are going to kick on and start consuming that water. We're still... Oh, right. And those, because this filled up, stopped running. So they stopped consuming the water, which is when things backed up. And the other thing we do is this. Okay, so that should start draining. Because I put a valve here that's gonna only let the water flow. Trying to verify it's facing the right way. Yeah. So it's only gonna let the water flow that way. So this pipe should drain over time. Yeah, that's what you want to see. And then this will fill up, but you know, it'll take a little while. And those should start doing okay. Because now we're consuming that. Cool, so we just unjammed it. So, water became a problem. Why do I have a pump here? You don't need a pump. You just need a valve. Oh, right, because I was just using it as a valve before I realized, you know, before it got pointed out that there was actual valves to work as check valves. Because remember, the pump used to serve that purpose before they gave us the valves. It's interesting that that's not... It's not really draining. How much are you using in water? 180, 360, 720. So 600 and 720. Right, so we're making just a smidge too much. That's fine. It almost makes you wish they had a relief valve. For people who don't know, like a pressure relief valve, it almost makes you wish you had that, so you'd have like a little pressure relief valve there, where if the pressure of this hits, you know, hits a certain saturation, it just kind of spurts off the extra. 'Cause that's like a real thing that's used as a safety practically everywhere you're dealing with pressure and chemicals that you, well, and substances you're not worried about the substance being worse than the pressure. Which is most of the time, because usually that's steam, water, stuff like that. Alright, so it looks like everything's happy now. Okay. Alright. So that's what I like to see. Yeah. That's, like, low key on my own, I kind of want to set up a run where literally I just beeline to the dimensional storage as fast as possible. I did start my own save. I wonder if I'll follow through with it or change it. I had this entire idea about going on the edge of water and building a platform out in the water. That way, like, the whole bottom floor could be, you know, all the stuff like nuclear reactors, oil production, everything that requires water, just all in-house. We'd import everything from outside. Then you go up to a floor, then you'd have all your smelters, you'd go up a floor. And where, like, I have it split where it's just, like, one and one kind of thing, that one would be, you know, you'd have this row, you'd have one set of things and another, and then you have, like, this row, one set of things and another. Like, I had a whole thing, and for the outside, it's just making it a ramp up. So it'd have kind of, like, you know, be sort of a pyramid design. And it was really cool. And I found that they really, when you look at the map and you're, like, in the ocean in places like this, they really get you way out here before you start taking damage. Like, there is a map edge that when you hit it, it starts very rapidly killing you. But it's, like, way out there. Okay. So I've got you going. I'm gonna drop more in. Yeah, we should have enough, because I've already got 58 there. We are duplicating what we're getting out of here, so that's giving us even more. So we should be okay to still get done in the time. You can flush water and reboot it faster? Yeah, and that's all I did. Is, once I realized the problem, like, I set the check valve and all that to make it so it shouldn't jam up again. But, then I just went to the giant, like, storage tank, and I just flushed the entire storage tank. Doesn't count for the streak, but you refuse to stream? Hey, Lardine, I appreciate it. So what I'm hearing is you just send everything to the factory on the ocean. Yeah, I'll show it after the ending, because we're right about to hit the ending here. I've got a little over 10 minutes till we're done. A bit over that. 10-15 minutes. And then I'll pull up the other factory just to show you what I started. The other factory, where like this one built up pretty fast, the other factory is crawling. And thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. It's also weird me having that because like that was a follow on Twitch. And it's like, wait a second, hang on a second. Yeah, speed unlocking dimensional storage feels kind of like Factorio Lazy Bastard run. I like that run. For those who have never played Factorio and done the achievement hunting, there's an achievement called Lazy Bastard. That the entire point of the run is I think you're only allowed to craft, it was something like 111 items yourself. Everything else has to be made by machines. And it's actually one of those things that as long as you're careful, it's not hard. But it's definitely one of those ones going, okay, what is like, you know, build your drill right away. And then, like, build the next thing right away. Just the one to get, like, your plates. Never make another plate. And just being very meticulous about that. Like, once you get to, like, drones, it becomes easy, because you just stamp out the thing, like, all the plans, and just let the drones do all the work. Thank you very much, Sardine, for the 400 biddies over on Twitch. Well, I'm not live on Twitch. That's weird. But thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, and for the record, the only reason I'm not streaming on Twitch today is kind of two things. The first thing is, unfortunately, one of the realities is when it comes to, like, sponsorships, getting game keys, various things to support your channel, visibility of your channels, yada, 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 your concurrent average viewership is, like, the metric that everybody uses. And when you start a stream, it takes us time for the stream to like build up its numbers. So if we're doing a stream that's going to be all of maybe 2 hours or done, I actually have no idea how long I've been streaming. Where does that information live in all these UI? I guess I just don't get to know. I'm going to guess... Oh, actually, there we go. We started... So we're at about an hour now. So it's not even going to be 2 hours. We're at about an hour now. And we're getting really close to finish. Probably another 10-15 minutes. We'll check out the other one. So probably hour and a half or whatever. But the point is, like, for a channel on Twitch where I can usually pretty consistently break 100 viewers most nights, unless it's like kind of a missed night or whatever, I could still have, like, some days the numbers just shoot up right at the beginning and you're great, especially if you get a raid. But there are lots of days that about an hour into stream, I'm maybe sitting at 50, 60 average viewers. So the point being, if I shut down the stream at that point, that drags down my concurrent average. Now, like, one instance of that probably isn't a big deal, but you just form these habits over time to be like, okay, I have to consider with this stream, how does it impact my numbers? Because I shouldn't have to care about all that stuff. But the problem is, when someone is considering whether or not to give you a key to a game or whatever, when they're like a sponsor or a game dev or whatever, they literally will just pull up your profile, they will look at concurrent average viewership and nothing else. Sometimes they'll look at more, but literally, if number not bigger than this, no key for you. So it does bully you into doing kind of weird things where if you know something's not going to perform well, you can still do it, you gotta do it limited. But that's also the reasons why, when it comes to games, I'll play games that are kind of niche games that don't really have viewership, but I do so sparingly. Like I'll do a stream or two of it, and then like I'll stop for a while. Okay, so we are outrunning the rate we're getting the fused modular frames. That's not a surprise. I did see that we have enough in there now, so I'm gonna take all that stuff back, because literally I only need 28 more, and we're making 2.5 per minute. So do the math. So it's, you get the idea. But yeah. And then the other thing is, as Lardine's mentioning, the stream streak. So Twitch introduces a mechanic called stream streak. That the gist of the mechanic is, for viewers who catch every stream, like every stream they catch in a row, after I believe 3 streams, they can start saying, hey, I've caught the last 3 streams, hey, I've caught the last 5 streams, hey, but it's like, it's 3, then 5, and then increments of 5. And so it's kind of one of those things that we have people on the channel who are up to like 220 plus, you know, stream streaks. And it doesn't care if like, if I hit live and I ended my stream immediately on Twitch, literally I've just torpedoes every stream streak on the entire channel. Like they're just gone. You think you're at 265? Yeah, we got some that are pretty high up there, which is absolutely mind-blowing. That means you basically have not missed a stream since that functionality got added, which I'm pretty sure was last year. And I mean, it makes sense, because you think about it, I stream normally on a week, I usually stream 5 days a week. So that means per week you're only going to get a maximum of 5. You know, there's 30-something weeks. Well, no, actually, is it 50-something weeks in a year? 56? 56 is there 52 or 56? It's been a while since I've had to worry about it. You don't think you've missed ones since you found your stream, like a month or two before that? Yeah, but it's one of those things, when you do the math and you sit there and you go with that, you're like, holy crap, that's literally an entire year without missing a single stream. And that is mind-blowing for me, because like it's easy to get in your own head as a content creator about, like, you know, is your content any good, like second guessing your decisions. Like it is a job that you constantly second guess absolutely everything you do. If I play a different game this week, did switching the game hurt my channel? Did I switch to the right game? Like these kind of things. And, you know, a lot of the time it's easy to ignore because, like, nah, my viewership's fine. But there are times that you just have a dip in viewership. Like it's just a one-off. And that could be, you know, hey, the Super Bowl's going on. Hey, you have a heavy U.S. audience and there's the debates going on. Or, hey, it's a holiday and everyone's visiting family. Or whatever the thing is. There's things completely unrelated to anything about the quality of your work or whatever. But number go down. And so you'll choose a game, you'll see number go down and go, oh god, was this game like a huge miss? The very last one, even though I'm not big on the game, you try to lurk. Or at least pop in for a bit if you... if you can't have the tab open. Yeah. Well, no, that's the thing. As a content creator, the reality is most people who tune into your stream are tuning into your stream because of the game you've chosen initially. Like you are playing a game that they are already excited about and interested in, or a game that they are getting interested in, or whatever. So it is kind of one of those things that you really do depend on a lot of, like, the game decision does matter for attracting those eyeballs. It also matters in the sense that usually on Twitch, people are going to, for the most part, raid into either other content creators they already know, or they're going to raid into someone who's playing similar content to themselves, which gets back to the game category. So if you're playing a game that literally no one's ever heard of, the chances you get raided by someone are pretty negligible. Just the same, like, and the reverse is also true. If you're playing like Counter-Strike or Fortnite or whatever, and there's, you know, a billion people tuned in and like thousands and thousands and thousands of people streaming it, unless you're on the top of the pile, your chances of someone raiding you are also basically nil. There's just too many people. So there's a whole lot of behind the scenes strategy. If people disagree on the strategies, that's fine. That's kind of one of the other things that makes content creating hard, is there are certain things that you can take as kind of infallible truths, like, you know, generally being consistent will always benefit you, that kind of thing. But there's also certainly also things that'll work against you. That's an interesting one, but so we got another, well, I'm definitely not doing aluminum rods. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's 1-to-7 ratio, but goodness, no. But yeah, so there's definitely like a lot of stuff that goes into the balancing. Everyone has their own decisions, whatever. And there's certain things that are fairly universally true. If you're really not enjoying a game, you're not going to be able to do good content in that game very long. You're going to just get frustrated and angry and burn out and all that. And that, like, there's definitely certain things that you cannot branch into and have it work. I can actually turn back on a couple of these machines. Our power's been perfectly fine. Because I wanted to turn you back on, because those are requirements for other things later. Those machines over there, I never need again. But yeah, because we got 12 more, so that's going to be about 4 or 5 minutes left. And then we get to put the last of the things in the thing and then pull the lever. And then once we pull the lever, amazing things happen. Wasn't there... I'm trying to remember. I was looking at all, like, the neat gadgets you could get. Yeah, so the singularity cell is something I actually will use later. I turned the machine back on already, but I detached the conveyor belt. Like, if we look down here, it just goes to nowhere now. Because this conveyor belt did have a splitter off of this line. And all I'm going to do is, once that's done, I'm going to tear up that belt and just bring it over here instead. And then that means I'll be making every single good that matters in the game. Because, like, these three up here, the only value those have once I set off the rocket, if I'm not mistaken, will literally be for tickets. And that's kind of the thing I'm trying to debate with. So, with Factorio, when you hit the end game, like, you've launched the rocket, you've won. The typical continuation people will do is they'll continue to build and spread their factory because you can keep relaunching the rocket, and they'll keep trying to relaunch the rocket faster and faster. And then it's kind of like one of those things that a lot of people consider that you've hit kind of the ceiling when you can launch, I think it's 1 rocket a minute, which is an absolutely astronomically large factory to do that. And this one, if we complete the Phase 5 objective and it's just done, then, you know, the only thing I can think from there is just go down to your awesome sink and be like, hey, make big number bigger. Oh, that's not the awesome sink. The awesome sink is like, make big number bigger. Speaking of which, give me my coupons. Because I think there was an achievement for buying this.
The Fix-It Factory card navigates on Fix-It foundation surfaces with extreme efficiency. Not intended for use on hazardous terrain, mildly hazardous terrain, reasonably safe terrain, or general terrain. Fix-It reserves the right to subtract damage to or loss off vehicle from your Save the Day completion bonus package. For more information about this bonus package, please visit our information booth in Earth, open on the first Tuesdays and Wednesdays of the month, between 6:25 a.m. and 6:53 a.m.
I forgot I unlocked lots of walls things. Oh yeah. And we have filters and all that. We can change our wall style and all that. I haven't unlocked a lot of that stuff. What I'm trying to figure out is, I thought it would be under transport, but I didn't see it. Because we've got our trucks and all that. But that's not the Fix-It. It might just literally be under equipment, maybe? That it is. It's so small, it goes in the equipment slot. Ah, the fix-it cart. Utterly one of the least useful things in the game. I'm holding left turn, by the way. Excellent. It can stay there forever. And be forgotten. I am happy about my purchase. I did not get an achievement, though. Alright, and I do see what's happened. Give me 2 seconds. I want to spend my 1 ticket. There. Road barricade. But then said not for general today. Yeah. It's like, and not mildly safe terrain. That's right out. Oh. Before this gets too far. I just want to fix that. There. Alright. So I'm going to pop a save right here. Just in case it does something cheeky and, like, I lose progress because we get some cinematic or whatever. And with that, it is time to load. Probably get a video. And then send.
Unsurprisingly, here's another presentation, but don't worry, I have improved it. This last delivery will be the most important action you have ever taken. Perhaps you want to take a moment to contemplate the gravity of your achievements. Alright, that's enough. This is the end of the Save the Day program. All you need to do is wait for the automated Phase 5 construction to complete. Simply throw the lever and further instructions will be supplied when relevant.
That saved the day probably is the achievement we got. So clearly we're making some type of starship up here, because we gave it engines and all that.
Phase 5 completed. Return to the space elevator after the resources have been processed and added to project assembly. Launch can then be initiated from there. While waiting, please do not break anything. Solve any issues immediately and efficiently. Ensure your power network is stable. Perhaps it is best if you do not touch anything at all. And stay close to the space elevator. This will only take a moment.
Okay. Am I not close enough? Current instruction, check oil. Set fuel injector to level 5. Where's my fuel injector? Okay. Activate bus 1. Bus B1. Set left stabilizer to 9. Set right stabilizer to 4. Turn on gyroscopic balancers, or X. Turn on Y. Turn on C.
Initiating project assembly. Assembly. Attaching cargo to main body.
Why wouldn't you just build that already lined up?
Leveling inner and outer rings.
Okay.
Attaching propulsion to main body.
Oh, the outer ring is like an assembly bay and the ship's in the middle. I understand. I was just like, why would you not have this all connected? Right. I getcha.
Fuel lines connected. Attaching control center to main body. Running systems check. All systems online. Releasing propulsion cage. Releasing clamps. Running pre-launch checks and calculating flight path. Locking in cargo. Launch in T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, liftoff.
It's like fireworks or flares? Oh, I think we're gonna get nuked. Or apparently we nuke space-time fabric to travel? Okay. Okay, more's happening. Oh, is it now we can build another ship?
Connection with QAR-437 nucleus established and stable. Dispersion initiated. Reinstancing master nucleus to QAR-436 Akicha, B1. Hello, this is Ada, your new local instance of Ada. On behalf of Ada, myself, and all of Fixit, I want to congratulate you on saving the day. Every single kitten and puppy would thank you if they could. You have proven yourself to be a worthwhile and productive member of the human race, and have contributed something to this universe that will forever change it. Thanks to your achievements, the next generation of pioneers can now take to the stars and construct, automate, explore and exploit, alongside me. Additionally, you have been promoted to local production manager, effective immediately. Your duties to project assembly may be complete, but your duties to Fixit remain. With your help, Fixit continues to make the universe a better place. Stay efficient. Stay with Fixit.
I got my promotion. I'm now a project manager on the planet that I'm alone on. Is that a colonizer ship? It released more drop pods on our planets. Right, but like, where are they getting the people? Like, that's the thing I find curious, because where we're left at the end of the game here, it doesn't answer the question. Like, we're very clearly being sold a bunch of nonsense, or like, you know, you're gonna save the day, and all the kittens, and all the puppies, and all this. But there's really no evidence in the game to back up the doom and gloom that supposedly you're saving people from. We don't even know what we're saving them from in the first place. If that is even true. And even with the, like, end story thing, it really doesn't answer those questions. It really does leave it open in the air. And then considering Ada and the voices here on the planet, you know, they start getting to know each other better, and they really start kind of basically looking down a lot on the temple, which is people, and how, like, we're flawed, and while we certainly helped them get where they are, they're, like, we're kind of in the way and kind of troublemakers and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, well, I mean, they could easily have living space on the thing, but you remember, we built that, like, from stuff down here. So, I'm fine. Like, that ship, clearly, it's like, okay, it's some type of frigate. It could easily have people, like, space for people. There could be beds and bunks and barracks and, you know, a galley or whatever. But where did the people come from? Or where did whatever? Now, granted, we're talking about, like, literally it's just moving AI around, which my suspicion is literally that, you know, Ada is just spreading Ada around the universe, and we're just the means of which Ada facilitates it for whatever reason. I was actually, I'm hoping there'll be a post-credits thing, that even if it's just like a one-liner dialogue, that we get something. I don't mind leaving it open-ended question kind of thing, where it's like, okay, like, did we actually save the day, or did we just give Fixit the ship? I'm also curious with the project. I can see that the entire mechanisms for the assembly have returned back to position. I'm wondering if it will make it so we can, you know, rebuild the ship again and again and again to set it off. Like, that becomes, you know, for people who want to keep playing and growing and continuing the game, like, I could see that being a chase thing of how fast can I send the ship off again and again. Now, granted, as the manual, you grab the lever and you chunk it down and all that. For that to really be a jam, you'd want to automate that part. Be able to say, you know, once you get the thing, just launch and progress to the next stage. But that'd be, like, very Factorio-esque, where once you finish the game, what do you do next? Okay, make faster. Like, not from scratch, just see how fast you can get the ship building. See if you can get that production speed up to the point where you're just, you know, as like the animation time starts to become like the bottleneck. But yeah, no, I've really enjoyed this. Come on, one more dialogue. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. If we go to the machine, what's it say here? Pioneer purpose has concluded. Yeah, so it very much feels like this is the stage where it's like, well, you build our ship. Bye. Bye-bye. You wanted to leave? Well, That's unfortunate. Because now this serves no purpose. It's gone. Goodbye. It is cool that that stays up there, because that makes sense, because one would assume if I disassembled that, I would get all my stuff back, which would be more than my inventory could probably handle. Yeah. So at this point, I guess the things you do for your continuation of the game is you go look for the Somer Sloops, the Mercer Spheres, the Slugs, like all those kinds of things. You go collect all the stuff. The hard drives unlock all your recipes. Just grow the factory for the sake of growing the factory. The challenge I have with that is what would I even do with the things I grow in the factory? That's where I'm kind of scratching my head, because now there's a ton of materials that serve literally no purpose, because their only purpose was to feed to there. Which, granted, you know, yeah, you'd feed into the sink and get tickets and maybe use it like a high score, I guess. So with that said, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to save again. And I'm going to exit to the main menu. No, I'm not. I'm just going to go load game. And I'm just going to show you, I'd mentioned my offline playthrough, which is nowhere near as far. I'm just going to give you a peek of that. And I'm going to wrap up the stream, which is why I didn't do the Twitch stream. Yeah, so this is like what I have started doing on my offline playthrough. So you can see I'm putting a lot more effort into organizing it. But it's still very early. Like, we're still unlocking jump pads. But, like, it has a whole structure behind it where this is where all the power is going to happen down here. I've made it large enough so you can fit, like... I'm not sure about the nuclear reactors, but you can fit everything. I'm probably going to restart the save anyways, but the idea was I could build directly on this body of water. And I've checked, if you look at this, I've swam way the heck out there. I can build that entire big factory area I had in that last save. I can build that straight out and we still don't hit the edge of the map. Like, I swam way out there. So that's my intent. I don't think I'm going to follow through with that. I think I'll probably do something else. But yeah. And then the rest, it's not particularly, I think, interesting. And this is not one of the starting points. When I made the save, you can actually see that there's a whole bunch of the map I explored. I think I started over here. And I just kept running till I found a big body of water to work with. But with all that said... that has been Satisfactory 1.0. I'm gonna reload that other save. But that's been that Satisfactory 1.0. I've been very, very happy with it. The VOD will be available for those who want to catch the end and all that. But, you know, we've got the factory here at the end. People have seen it along the way, so I'm not gonna do like the full tour and all that. I do appreciate everyone hanging out tonight. I am gonna go to bed here in just a minute and try desperately to sleep, very unsuccessfully. So that way I can wake up bright and early before the sun rises to get to TwitchCon. The end game is a little strange. You don't think the Factorio route would work too well, since it's a finite world. You'd run some bottleneck with resource nodes. I would disagree, and the only reason I disagree is that we turn on our resource nodes. There is an absurd number of them, and this hasn't even explored the whole map. I want to say the map ends over here somewhere. Like, I want to say it's relatively square. But yeah, so it's a really big map. So sure, it's not an infinite map like Factorio, but there's a key difference. In Factorio, when you build on a mine area, you literally deplete the ore, and then you have to tear that down and go find yourself a new mine area. This, they never run out, so you could endlessly build. And don't get me wrong, there is a finite amount that you would eventually finish that there's just no more to exploit. But I mean, you're talking thousands of hours. I don't think you get to that point and still have any interest left in the game. So with that said, I'm going to be wrapping up. There's not a raid or anything over here on the YouTube side that I'm going to be doing, so it's just going to wrap. But thank you again so much for tuning in. I do hope you have enjoyed the stream tonight and all that good stuff. And I will see you all after TwitchCon. That way, now that this is all concluded, I can just say, cool, Satisfactory is behind me now. We can wait for like the next major content update or DLC or whatever they have planned in their future, and then I'll probably be back. Otherwise, that'll be it probably for Satisfactory. When we get back, I'll more than likely be checking out Frostpunk 2. The reviews have been pretty good for it. I'm hoping I can get a hold of a key before then, but if not, I might buy it. We'll see. It depends. Like, I'll definitely play it at some point, but like when I play it will be depending on like how much it costs, can I get a hold of a key, and all that stuff. But otherwise, we'll have plenty of options when I get back. So thank you again for tuning in. Make sure you're sleeping, drinking, getting enough sleep, and taking care of yourselves. And I do hope to see you next time, not tomorrow, not the day after, basically after the 24th at 7 p.m. EST, or after, and good quite a few nights. And thank you. It's good to have you all. I also noticed the concurrent viewers on YouTube, utterly a useless metric that is incredibly wrong. Because I've seen it like go down to 0 when people are actively talking in chat, as well as go up higher. So it's a useless number that, you know, very clearly can't be trusted. Anyways, good night, everybody.